Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie and welcome to my Mental Healthathon 2020 week 2 vlog. It is currently May 8th at like 8 p.m. and I'm about to start the program by Suzanne Young. I'm actually buddy reading this book with Jasmine, who I will leave in the description if you want to check out her channel. I'm excited to finally get to this book. I have literally had it on my TBR for at least a year now, probably 2. Like, I continuously say that I'm going to read it soon, I'll read it soon, and I never do, but now I promise I'm about to start it. It's happening. I'm ready. This is a YA dystopian in which suicide has become an epidemic, and so the government gathers up all the teenagers who show signs of depression and they hold them in these treatment camps to try and cure them of their depression. It's probably got love triangles and all the normal YA elements of a dystopian, but I have been reading like really dark and emotional books about mental health this past week, and so I'm hoping this is more of a lighter, fun read, even though obviously it covers heavier topics like suicide and depression. But I'm hoping that because it's a YA dystopian novel with like romance and all that in there, I'm hoping that it's not quite so heavy, but I guess I'll see soon. Jasmine and I are planning to read the first 10 chapters of this book today, so I really need to quit talking now and start reading it because I don't want to be reading it past midnight. I have schoolwork to do, which I should probably do first. I should probably do my schoolwork first, but am I? No. Anyway, I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, this is really weird. So the book that I just finished reading last night, the main character's name was Sloane, and then the main character of this book is named Sloane, and I just think that that's really weird. I also forgot to mention that the way the government cures people of their depression is by wiping their memories. So no one who's actually depressed wants anyone to find out that they're depressed, because if they get sent to these treatment camps, they know that their memories are going to be completely wiped and they're not going to be the same people. So that's really scary that the government actually does this to people. Like, they actually wipe people's minds. I just want to mention that grief, bereavement, is not the same thing as depression. You can't get infected with depression. And it's not an instantaneous thing. Something bad happens. Oh, he's infected with depression. If you can't tell, I'm annoyed. I'm actually really liking this book. Well, I'm liking it. I wouldn't say I'm strongly liking it yet, but I'm able to look past the flaws, okay? But I'm also very frustrated. I have to say, this dystopian world is particularly messed up. Hey guys, it is actually Wednesday. I haven't updated you in several days now, mostly because all of the thoughts that I have, anything that I would want to talk about, are all completely spoilery. There's really no way to give you any updates or talk about this book in any kind of way without giving essential plot lines, essential things away. So I apologize, and this vlog could be like super duper short because I have only one day left on this vlog, but I did read to part 3. I haven't read this in a couple days either because I am buddy reading this book with Jasmine, and I got kind of relatively far ahead of her, and so I've pretty much been waiting for her to catch up, which I think she will do today. So I might end up reading some more of this tonight before I go to bed. I do have to go to work, but I will be home later tonight, and hopefully I can get some more read. If not, it's totally okay. I'm reading several other books right now anyway, so it'll be fine. But I do want to try and finish this by tomorrow. I want to have at least one book finished for this vlog, but it'll be fine. I can tell you that although I like this book, and I like the characters, I like the relationships, the friendships, I like the plot for the most part, I really don't like the way depression is represented. It's viewed as like a contagious disease that you don't want to catch, because if you're around someone who's depressed, suddenly you're gonna get depressed too. You can't be around them or else you'll be infected. And like, it's so frustrating. You can't cry, you can't ever be sad. If you lose a friend to suicide, or if they wipe your friend's memory or your family member, like, you're not even allowed to grieve them, because then they'll automatically assume that you have depression and that you're also having suicidal thoughts, and they'll automatically snatch you away and remove your memories. And it's just so frustrating to read a book where people truly view depression and suicide as a contagious disease. This dystopian world is also super messed up, not just for those reasons, but what they actually do to teenagers, because the epidemic, the suicide epidemic, is only affecting teenagers. It's not affecting young children, and it's not affecting the adult population. So something suspicious is going on, you know what I mean? Like, it's a dystopian. So I'm automatically assuming that something suspicious is going on with that. But anyway, that's besides the point. They snatch these teenagers away against their will, completely against their will, and they wipe their memories, all because they're sad, all because they cried on this random one day because their friend died. Like, how messed up is that? And in these treatment camps, they're giving these kids all kinds of different medications, whether it's oral medication or injections against their will. Like, they're giving them all of these drugs to basically control them and get them to do whatever they want. They keep them relatively sedated so that they can't fight back, and it's just so screwed up. It's almost like a form of torture, except it's more mental torture than physical, although there's definitely the physical aspect because they're being drugged and basically just like zombies. It's really messed up. And honestly though, like, I can totally see why and how our governments of the current world could turn into something like this. It's very kind of like twisted and scary when you think about it. It's like, what would the government do today, like in real life, if the teenage population was getting wiped out by suicide? What would they do in order to maintain the population? Would they take us against our will and do everything possible to keep us from being depressed? It's probable. Anyway, those are all my thoughts that I have right now. I will update you either later tonight or tomorrow whenever I actually pick up this book and read some more. Not gonna lie, y'all, I don't feel like reading, so just drinking my coffee, chilling with my dog, and watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Hey guys, I'm about to head over to my brother's house and just hang out with him and my sister-in-law, and my mom's over there as well. I don't really know what they're doing. I think they're just hanging out by the pool. But anyway, I'm going to go hang out with them. I'm going to take my book. Hopefully I'll get some reading done because I really want to finish this book today. I really want to. Should I wear my Harry Potter hat? I don't like the way it fits, but like, it matches my outfit. Yes? No? I'm just not having a good time. First off, I'm walking down out of the house, down the steps, and I missed a step, and I thought I was about to break my neck. Then I get in the car and I'm talking to my dogs like I always do, and I was telling them bye through the window, and I accidentally hit the button and rolled my head up in the window. How does that even happen? Oh, baby. Pretty good. I finally finished the program last night at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I really wanted to get it done yesterday, but also once I started reading part 3, I literally could not stop. The plot of this book is so good, so gripping, and it just makes you want to keep flipping page after page. You can't stop reading. You want to know what happens. You're invested in the characters and the relationships, and you just seriously, you have to keep going. You can't stop because you have to figure out what the end of this book is. And it makes my feelings very conflicted because I've already talked a lot about my negative opinions of this book, the way it handles depression and just mental illness in general, and suicide is not even remotely correct, but the plot of this book is so good. I ended up giving this book 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I really wanted to give it 5 stars, but honestly, I couldn't let myself do that. I couldn't let myself give it 5 stars because there are just so many things wrong with this book. There are so many things. But I really liked it, so I don't even know how to think. I don't know if I should recommend this book, if I shouldn't recommend this book. So I guess my overall final opinion is, if you can't get past the flaws, if it really bothers you when mental illness is misrepresented and that's going to completely affect your reading experience, then don't read this book because you'll probably hate it. However, if you're someone who really likes books for the plot and you're a subjective reader, not really an objective reader, then you'll probably really love this book. So, positives. I really liked the characters. I liked the friendships in this book. I liked the relationships that were explored, although I didn't like all of the relationships in this book. And the plot was just so gripping. I really especially loved the plot of part 3. I liked part 1, but I wouldn't say it was like the greatest book of all time. But then when I got to part 2, everything completely changed, and it was like almost like a different book. And I liked what was happening in part 2. It was better than part 1, but then part 3 is so good. And then the negatives of this book. I've already talked about quite a few of them. The way depression and suicide are handled are just not correct by really any means. But let me go a little bit more in depth here. So depression in this book is a contagious disease. You don't want to be around anyone who has depression because you'll likely be infected as well and then get sent off to the program. And I think the author did this on purpose because it is a dystopian novel, and I think it's supposed to show how corrupt the world is and how screwed up the government is. But at the same time, the author doesn't really do anything to combat those incorrect beliefs. The characters never have some big revelation that depression isn't a contagious disease. You can't catch it just by hanging around someone. You can't catch it just because a friend dies. The characters surely believe that depression is a contagious disease, just like the government. They have the same thoughts about depression, just like the government. They never come to a realization that the government is wrong. But besides that, depression is misrepresented in this book, and I don't think it was on purpose. I think this is what the author believes. It was very stereotypical. Everyone who had depression in this book had the exact same symptoms. Their disease progressed in the exact same way, so it was like you could automatically tell when someone had depression because everyone was the same. Every symptom of depression was the same with every single person. But in the real world, we know that depression isn't really like that. Not everyone experiences the same symptoms. Depression is not the same for every single person who has depression. It's very much a spectrum of symptoms, and not everyone experiences it in the exact same way. Not everyone with depression self-harms. Not everyone with depression experiences suicidal thoughts. That's just not how it really works in real life. The stereotypes are never challenged, and just the way it was written made me think that this is truly how the author sees the world, and that's truly her understanding of what depression is. Because of those reasons, I just really couldn't give it 5 stars. I really wanted to because I loved the story, but I wouldn't say I absolutely loved the book as a whole because of so many things that were wrong with it. But I am really excited to continue on with the series. This book leaves off in a place that really made me personally want more, and I definitely think that you could stop with just this first book and be satisfied if you didn't want to continue on, because it is a 6-book series, and especially if you have problems with this one, I'm assuming you're going to have problems with the rest. So if you read this and you don't feel like continuing on, I do think it leaves off in a place where you can be satisfied and just kind of assume what happens. But me personally, I really wanted to know what happens next. The characters on the other covers are different. They're not the same people as the main characters in this book. So I'm assuming that each one follows a different couple, or maybe they just go back and forth between this couple and another couple. Regardless, I'm excited to continue, but I do definitely have some issues with it. So I'm not necessarily recommending it as a mental health book, but if you like YA dystopian, YA romance, then you will probably devour this. Alright guys, that is the end of my Mental Healthathon Week 2 reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed. I wish I could have read more books for this vlog, but I didn't feel like it. I was in the mood to read other books this past week, and that's totally okay. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below what books you have been reading for Mental Healthathon if you are participating. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more bookish content by me. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.